Hello everyone, welcome back to the Splatoon 2 Octo expansion playthrough. If you notice the names of the different phases, I believe the very first phase is called like the rectum phase or the anal phase or something like that.
It was the coccyx,
Yeah, which refers
which
to...
is honestly a funnier word anyway.
That's true. Also, man, this game's such a Resident Evil 4 ripoff with its giant laser walls and stuff like that.
Hey, in this
Wow.
one you actually get to manually dodge around them instead of quick time eventing your way through.
The Matrix was a hell of a movie, man. All right, like, imagine how many quick time events we wouldn't have had if The Matrix wasn't popular in the mid 2000s. Oh, damn. I forgot that they were instant kill. But anyway, yeah, so there's like 6 or 7 different phases, and each one kind of focuses on different things, which is really cool. These levels feel much more like the levels from the main campaign, in that they're a lot longer, and they focus more on just general platforming than one specific gimmick. But they're also just better designed than most of the levels in the main campaign as well. So they're still really good.
Okay, I was gonna say like hiding in the ink feels like it should just get you underneath any laser.
It should, but it doesn't. If you try to go underneath them, you still die. I don't know why, but it does.
That's so odd. I mean, I can understand if you're going fast because it looks like you're kind of a bump in the liquid, but those
Yeah.
lasers aren't close enough to the ground for that, so I don't get it.
I'm not sure. Maybe they do. Maybe you can just go straight underneath them, but I wasn't gonna try once I have gotten that far. But yeah, Captain Cuttlefish got kidnapped again. Oh my, what a surprise! This guy got kidnapped for the 17th time. Who would have thought?
Why did they keep kidnapping Captain Cuttlefish? I mean, I get it with Princess Peach. She's a princess, valuable political prisoner, even before you consider the fact that Bowser seems to be really thirsty for her. But,
It's more Cuttlefish just happens to be around than anything
so
else.
he just sort of bumblefucks into getting kidnapped?
Yeah, kind
more or
of,
less.
because he is effectively just like a crazy conspiracy theorist. Like in the first game, he's talking about how the Octoling menace is going to get us, you know.
Oh.
And it just kind of turns out that him and the leader of the Octolings, DJ Octavio, just kind of like don't like each other. So they just kind of like keep on going. But I mean, like, he was a war hero and stuff like that. So I guess there's...
He's just really old now.
Yeah, he's like 120 or something like that. So, I don't know.
Oh, I remember this part. This part's kind of annoying.
It's one of the most interesting sections, though, I would say, because I always appreciate anything that really emphasizes three-dimensional space and platforming. And because I think verticality is underexplored in platformers in general. 3D ones more so than 2D ones, because 2D sections with a lot of verticality have the problem of if you make one mistake, you have to redo a bunch of stuff, which can be annoying. But I think that they do an interesting job of it here. They kind of make like a 3D labyrinth that you are trying to explore with the inkjet, which is really cool. And the inkjet is a lot. Oh my god, look at my points. They're over 90,000!
Kind of feels like the
No, they're
sort
not.
of thing that they were trying to do in Sonic Adventure with Knuckles.
Yeah, kind of, actually. In the 1 and 2, I'm thinking about it, because the levels definitely emphasized, you know, being able to go up and down a
and all
lot
around.
with a lot of different
Up, down, and all
levels to
around,
things.
yes. But like,
The first example I can think of is Pumpkin Hill in 2, where like it had the typical structure where there's like 3 different areas, but you were incentivized to go up and down them a lot in order to find which section of each hill had the thing you were looking for.
yeah.
Obviously, this is a little bit more linear than that, but the same kind of...
Well, I think
feeling.
the Knuckles level design kind of did itself a disservice by making it all about playing hot and cold with randomly placed objects and a radar system. So rather than actually exploring the environment and using your eyes, you're always just waiting for the thing in the corner to start beeping at you.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like, that you don't start examining the environment until the thing starts beeping. Even then, you really don't start examining the environment until it's at least yellow.
I mean, in Sonic Adventure 2, maybe you do use your eyes to try and see if you can spot the crystals that your radar isn't picking up yet, so that you can get those extra points towards your ranking. But like, when you're just playing the game casually, yeah, a lot of the level sort of doesn't really have a lot of value to you. And you wind up just sort of brushing through the areas.
Just thinking off the top of my head, maybe it would have been better if instead of playing hot and cold and trying to find the 3 specific randomly hidden things, there were like 7 things hidden, and you had to find 3 of them to beat the stage. You know, like maybe within a time limit, maybe not.
That would that would be mechanically more interesting, but it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense with the story explanation they'd given for the hunt in the first place.
That is true, yes, but like you can just make it so that instead of trying to find Chaos Emerald shards or whatever, he's trying to find keys or bologna sandwiches or whatever. It doesn't really matter what he's looking for.
No, they did use keys in one level, didn't they?
Yeah. Because they needed Knuckles to do something at that point in the story because he's functionally useless for half the game. I should have died there. I absolutely should have died there, but we take those. It's also just, I think, generally speaking, satisfying to climb up a tall thing, you know, in a mechanical sense.
Like, you know, half the fun of New Donk City and in Odyssey was climbing up the building and seeing how far you could jump from the top.
I'm also thinking of Mario Sunshine, where one of the more... They had a lot of set pieces like that now that I'm thinking about it. Like, there's climbing to the top of the Ferris wheel. There's all of the, like, grates that you have to climb over in Rico Harbor. That's another thing that they want you to climb.
When you're doing a 3D platformer where bottomless pits are minimal, and in 3D Mario, bottomless pits really are minimal, you need to find another punishment for failing to make a jump, and the most obvious one is failing to make a jump wastes your time because you have to make your way back up to this thing, you know? And the punishment becomes harsher the higher and higher up you go. If you do a non-bottomless pit in a near ground level, what you get is the tutorial room to Soul Reaver. It's not going to keep your attention for very long.
Is Legacy of Kain a platformer in those games?
In Soul Reaver, it was they do a fair bit of jumping and climbing around.
Huh.
Yeah, you have
that
these
seems kind of out of place.
You have these
vampires.
You have these tattered wings, right? Because you got thrown into a pit of water and your body dissolved. So you use the tattered wings to glide around. So you climb up on these structures and basically try to navigate around. And half the challenge is sometimes you can't navigate to a particular place in the material plane, so you have to warp on over to the spectral plane and abandon your body. And when you do that, the world twists and turns in real time so that the environment reorganizes itself. Certain platforms might be lower or higher or more twisty. Certain areas of the environment that you couldn't traverse in the material plane become passable because water is as thin as air in the spirit plane, so you can just walk along the bottom of a pool. It's actually really neat. And I
suppose when you put it like that, it makes a lot more sense than something like Ultima, where they just put in a bunch of platforming because they felt like it.
Yeah, well, jumping and navigating hazardous terrain is something that can add value to a more adventure-y, down-to-earth game. Like, there's a reason they tried to do it in Ultima, and it's because you could always do that kind of shit in a pen and paper game. There have always been skills for like acrobatics and jumping and athletics and all of that, but RPGs
Imagine
for the
playing
longest
the
time
D&D Mario game. No, it's just like I rolled to jump on a Goomba, and you're making so many athletic checks.
Okay,
Like,
now that you brought this up, I'm going to Google it and see if a pen and
see if
paper
somebody's made it.
pen and paper Mario.
I mean, I know for a fact that somebody's done a pen and paper Pokemon RPG because me and my friends stole their rule book and played it in high school once.
Someone has made one.
Okay. All right.
I found it like I didn't even have to search for more than 2 seconds. Pen and Paper Mario is a fan creation written by David White based on popular characters from Nintendo Company Limited, and the PDF is perplexingly long.
If it's a custom D&D module, I'm not surprised.
There's a series of pages at the end of it that are printouts for like monster tokens that you can use on the battle grid.
Oh, that's always nice.
and
So you don't
player
have to use
tokens
Lego
and-
figures or
Yeah.
hoarders or ketchup
There's-
packets.
There's character sheets.
Like,
and
you
then-
see, I would have totally expected somebody to do like a Zelda D&D module, but not a Mario one.
Well-
that's new to me.
someone did, and apparently it's existed since 2017. May 8th, 2017 is the blog post that I'm looking at right now.
Wow. Okay. That's
Also, you're right. Totally screwed on this run.
There's a lot of effort that's been put into this. I need to save this and check it out later.
what alignment is Luigi? Because my guess is probably true neutral, but maybe neutral good. I
I'm
would say
not sure.
I'd say lawful neutral.
I don't see
lawful
an
neutral.
I don't see an
he
alignment
doesn't really
on these character
he doesn't
sheets.
seem to care that much about what goes around him beyond help my brother, which is like a thing, I guess. But
All right, so I've saved that file. Back to watching the thing I'm supposed to commentate on.
I mean, Bowser's probably true neutral, I guess, like because he's really
not
just
really-
kind of id
yeah, he's not really
personified.
evil. He's not really evil, and no one really seems to care what he does beyond
Look,
capturing the
dude,
princess.
you can be evil and have nobody take you seriously. That's Edwin's entire character in Baldur's Gate. But like,
I mean, like, no, but the thing is like he's not really a bad person, other than inconveniencing Mario and the princess all the time.
and
Like,
constantly trying to take over the world with like weird
I
artifacts and whatever.
I mean, to be fair, the Koopa Kingdom's really not any worse off than the Mushroom Kingdom in most regards.
yeah, like all of his subjects seem to like him. You know, like it's not like
He seems to treat them well for the most part.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he's constantly going after his own selfish aims, and that's basically
I mean, so
the
is
defining.
doesn't Peach? She's constantly having golf and tennis and go-kart tournaments and stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, but those can double as like social events for the community. You know, she can have her cake and eat it too, and she's not doing anything that's expressly at the expense of other people most of the time.
I mean, to be fair, Mario doesn't ever get to eat any of the cake, so I suppose
the definition of evil in the D&D alignment system comes from pursuing selfish wants at the cost of other people's happiness, lives, or comfort. So it's not necessarily about how much harm you do, it's about your motivation for doing it. So, like, there's... you don't necessarily have to be doing really, really bad things to be evil aligned.
I guess it's more like I don't think Bowser wishes harm on people all the time.
You don't even have to be malicious. The fact that Bowser kidnaps someone else for his own reasons places him firmly in the evil alignment category. And the fact that, specifically the fact that he does it for his own selfish reasons. He's not kidnapping someone as a form of subterfuge to achieve the greater good. He's kidnapping someone so he can marry them. Okay, that's evil alignment through and through. It's comically cartoonish evil alignment, but it's evil alignment.
Yeah, but he'll still get invited to baseball after the fact,
Mario, on the other hand, is pure chaotic neutral. He just does not give a fuck.
Yeah, I could see Mario as either somewhere in the neutral good to chaotic neutral kind of corner of the alignment chart. I can see that.